Welcome front. It's your boy, True, better yet the man. So the topic of today's discussion is going to be, are the limiting beliefs that you hold, are they yours? You have to sometimes stop and ask yourself, because we came into this world not knowing nothing. Everything that we know or we believe to know or we think that we believe to be the truth was taught to us by somebody who didn't really know much more than we did. So you have to sit there sometimes and analyze and see, are the beliefs that are holding you back yours? Do you really believe the things that you say you do? Do you really believe as though you can't get out of your situation? Do you really feel as though that it's a lost cause and there's nothing that you can do in order to help yourself? And if so, who taught you that? Who taught you that? Who taught you that you can only have one home and one car and you need to drive the car until it explodes and you can't get a new one? I laugh my heart out whenever I drive by all these dealerships. You pass by Mercedes-Benz, BMW, Range Rover, all these cars that people are gonna say are nice car, expensive car, you made it vehicles, Lamborghini, all them kind of things. And they just sit in the parking lot. Hundreds of cars just sitting in the parking lot waiting for somebody to come and pick them up. All these abandoned mansions all over the country, just waiting, just sitting there, empty, waiting for somebody to come and use them and try to make the most out of it. So for someone to sit here and tell me that like I can't have a nice car or I can't have more than one home or I can't have different things is limiting. That's a limiting belief, because they're literally sitting here collecting dust, waiting for somebody to come along and use the things. This is where we talk about in our fundamental philosophy, use the things, don't let the things use you. So in that instance, it's like I had to understand, I had to look and see, okay, there are limiting beliefs that I hold, that I think are the truth but are not the truth. There might be some things in your life that you're going to have to reassess and see the prejudices that you hold, that you carry about certain people, about yourself, about races, about groups, about money. There's limiting beliefs that are all around us. The way that your parents talked about money has a great impact on how you see the world of finances. Some people think, if your parents think that credit cards are a scam, most likely you do too. If your parents think that, these kind of groups of people are insert something offensive here, you probably believe it too. So if you don't ever question your beliefs, if you don't ever question your beliefs, eventually you're going to see that these things are untrue. Hopefully, at least you would see that these things are untrue, And it's really just like, you have to unpack. You have to unpack a lot of the stuff that they tell you is the truth, that they tell you is supposed to be facts, that they tell you is, didn't even get it. that they tell you is supposed to be the truth. Guys, the only truth is the truth that you create for yourself. Because everything is altered. Everything, they're changing history, they're rewriting, books and documents and all these kinds of things. We're living in 1984, the George Orwell's 1984, we're living it now. So it's like the limiting beliefs that people will impose upon you can hinder your life forever. The Bible tells us that if you train up a child in a certain way, when they become an adult, they will not depart. So if a limiting belief is instilled into you between your formative years, I believe 8 years old is like when your formative years end, maybe all the way to 13, give or take. But if you train up a child up and from birth until 8, and you tell them that money is hard to get, we as black people, we don't get nothing, everything is hard, your life is gonna suck, your life you're gonna hold on to these things and you're gonna go out into the world and fulfill what they call the self-fulfilling prophecy, where the things are going to start to happen in your life and you're going to see that everything that they predicted is coming true out of your own volition, but it's your thinking and your thought patterns that are getting you there. So, you really have to look and see if these limiting beliefs and your beliefs in general are yours. And do you really believe these things to be true? Because I can't sit there and believe that the economy sucks, so I have to be without money, when there are people that are making the amount of money that you make in a year in a day. So when I think about these kinds of things, it's impossible for me to have a limiting belief when it comes to finances, because it's so much abundance, it's so much grandiose. But they trick you. They trick you out of your position, and they trick you into thinking in small, limiting mindsets and beliefs. That the only way for you to get money in this world is to have a job, to work, and I was the greatest victim of this. Anybody that knows me knows that I used to work 2 jobs at the height of my workaholism, or work was when my mom died, and it was I think around 2013. I had a full-time job during the day, I had a full-time job during the night, I was going to school full-time on Wednesdays. I had stacked my schedule so that I could go to school for 12 hours on Wednesday, and then I was working part-time on the weekends. So to the point it almost killed me. Lucky I'm still here to talk to you guys and tell you a story. So I just say all this to say, because my mind was so limited that the only way that I could perceive to make more money was to work more, was to spend all my time and trade all my energy. And the only resource that I thought was of any value that I had at the time was to trade that for money. And it cost me. Luckily, nothing happened to me. And I mean, I know why. I'm grateful to the Lord every day. Let's not pretend. I'm not going to pretend like I don't know why I was protected, because I have to come here and tell you guys these stories so that you don't have to do the things that I did. And my belief at the time was that was all I was good for. That was my belief at the time. I was going through a lot of emotional ups and downs, the roller coaster at the time of losing my mother. And, it opened up my eyes to see that there's more. It took me a while to really see it, But I remember I was roofing. I was doing a roofing job. I'm up on these roofs and throwing the shingles down to the man them. And I was walking past the university in which I was going to at the time, York University. Shout out to the Lions. And I remember looking at my hands, and they were black as night. All the tar and all that shit that they use on the roofs. And I was looking at my hands, and they literally started cramping, and I couldn't control it. They just started cramping up on me. And I started crying. I was walking home, and I just started crying, because I said, this is not the life that I want to live, And my mom was always very much into education and all these kinds of things, so that you use your mind so you don't have to use your body. And I just broke my heart. I would sit there and I just broke down crying, and I'm sorry, Mom. I'm sorry that I'm having such a hard time figuring this out. Lucky for me, I was able to uncover the truth. And I was only able to uncover the truth by looking at the beliefs that were holding me back, and understanding that there were certain things in my life that I wanted to get rid of. How could I get rid of these things? How could I get the things that I wanted instead of spending my life getting the things that I don't want? Because life will give you whatever you ask for, good or bad. It's up to you to direct that. It's up to you, and you direct it by thinking, by the thoughts in which you think. It's so funny, because now I think bigger. My bank account is bigger. My opportunities are bigger. When I think small, you get small. You get small. You know what I'm saying? So it's interesting, guys. And you have to just you have to just see if these beliefs are yours. See if the beliefs that are holding you back, or that are causing you to experience the life that you're living, if you're unsatisfied. If you're feeling satisfaction in every aspect of your life, this is not for you, because you've already experienced it. You're here already, But this is for my friends and family all around the world that may be, experiencing a life of lack, experiencing a life that they don't want to live. They don't want to have to work every day and not be able to enjoy their families and their children and their wives and their husbands, because they're on the grind, So once you're able first to see that you're carrying limiting beliefs that are causing you to live a life that you don't desire, then you can begin. Then you can start, and you can see, okay, there is something. Now, how do I unlearn that? There's more to unlearn than there is to learn. You have to get rid of all these thinkings, all these weeds in your mind that have been planted since you were a child. In your head, they told you about, because you're this, because you're that, because you're this, because you're that, you know? And it's you're more than they make you believe. They take advantage of the fact that you think small. Because if you think small, it's like the idea where they say who makes the best slave is somebody in debt. So if I sell you the idea, a limiting belief that there's not enough, then now you have to go into debt in order for you to maintain a lifestyle that's going to make you appropriate for society. And then now I've got you, then you can be a wage slave, and you work for low wages because you got to pay your debts so that you can maintain the image, so that you can feel as though you're accomplishing something in this world. You see how they get you? You see how the limiting beliefs, and you see how the way that the system is perpetrated or propagated or whatever the term is designed and set up so that we fail. It's designed to set up to keep us in poverty, to keep us working, to keep us spinning our wheels. I got off the hamster wheel, and I look back and I see the wheel that I was on. I look back and I'm able to see the wheel that I was running, and the fact that I was literally just on it nonstop, running. I could never want to take a day off because I was like, oh, you know, but I could use that extra $100. You know, I'll like drive in it's the weather's bad out there, but I'm like, I can't miss a day because I need 100. I need that $100. It's crazy when you think about it. It's ridiculous when you think about it, you know? But I just say this to say that you need to uncover the truth of who you really are. You need to uncover the truth of who you really are, and you need to uncover the truth of who you really are so that you can live your truth. You can live in your ultimate abundance, and you can live in a world where you are happy, where you're satisfied, and you don't have to look over your shoulder. You don't have to feel anxiety about what your boss might say whenever they call you. So there are beliefs in your mind that are causing you to experience this world in a certain way. You need to uproot them, you need to destroy them, and you need to change them and think about the opposite. And through the power of awareness, I'm able to understand my thoughts. I'm able to see things, you know? I'm able to slow down to the point where I'm not like in my monkey mind that's just going. I was in there for like 29 years. I was in there. And that's why it's like, sometimes I want things to happen so quickly, but it's like, no, you were in a certain paradigm for 29 years. It's going to take some time for you to get to where you want to go, and be patient in the journey. Okay, guys, be patient in your journey as you're uprooting these things, because you are on a new journey, and this time is going to be the best one you've ever had. Okay. So with that, guys, I'm gonna wrap it up. Love you guys so much. All my links will be down in the description below. You can check out my Etsy store. You can get some digital products. You can get some physical products. My merch will be there. My books will be there. Everything you can find will be available down below. If you want to connect with your boy, you can do so. I'm easy to find, and I can't wait to see you guys. I'm going on tour shortly. My first stop is going to be Detroit, and yeah, tap in with your boy. Let's have some fun, guys, and let's destroy these limiting beliefs. Until next time, love you lots. I'm out. Peace.